Welcome to the second part of the series where I would like to discuss Oracle Real Application Testing, RAT in short. It is an enterprise database option that allows business to assess the impact of a system changes on the real world applications by using actual production workloads, and that too without even having applications. It minimizes the risk of instability, performance, regressions, and downtime when upgrading, patching, or most importantly, migrating database from old to new hardware or a major software upgrade from 11G to 19C. It has two distinct complementary features, SPA and replay. SPA we have discussed in the part 1 of the series. In part 2, we will discuss on database replay. Jump into the steps. For real application testing replay, we have to first capture. Capture will be performed at the source. Step 1 would be to creating a directory where we will be storing our workload files. Prior to 19C, there were limited options that you can only do a capture and replay on root in a multi-tenant container database. But with the advent of 19C, you can perform at the PDB level as well. I have used the filter PDB as a PDB name. Filter name is attribute. You can give any name and the database, the filter value. This will filter and capture only the workload required based on your schema or PDB name, module, action, service name, instance number, etc. Once the filter is added, I will start the capture. Once the capture is started, I will inform application team to start the work. And then all the workloads, the SQL queries which will be triggered after this step 3 will be captured in all the workload files. Once I'm satisfied I have enough data, an hour or so would be enough, or a couple of hours depending upon your workload data, how busy the system is, you can finish the capture. Once you finish the capture, anything runs beyond this point in the database will not be part of your replay. The capture is completed at source, we will move into the replay part of the real application testing. As you see, there is a 5.8 GB generation of the workload files at source. This I will have to copy to the replay. Let's focus on replay part. At replay as well, first step is to create the database directory. Once the files are copied, I will run replay process capture. This will internally change the raw files which were captured at the source 11G and make it executable at your target, which would be 19C or 26 AI. To give you a timeline, around 6 GB of data, it required around 15 minutes to process. Moving on, next, after processing, we'll have to initialize the replay. We have to give the same directory in the DBA directories, whichever directory we have created, same directory name we have to give, and it will initialize. And this is the critical step here. We have to remap the connection IDs which were at the source. For example, when I have captured a connection at my source location would be something else, but at the target, the host name, the port, and the database name will be different. So imagine this as whenever we are doing the replay, we are trying to re-invoke the same SQL from the same session as it happened in the source. Instead, we just want to map to a target to the new database where we are going to migrate. So in that case, we have to change the database name or the PDB name. In this situation, we are changing the service name, host name, and the port of my target. So you have to look for the latest connection ID, and based on that connection ID, all related all related connections will be changed to my desired new database connection. Very, very critical, and make sure that wherever you're running your replay, it does not connect to your, not able to connect to your source database. If there is a TNS entry or anything, block it and remove those entries and make sure these two are totally disconnected system. Otherwise, whatever the changes this workload files will have, it will perform those changes in the source as well that you would never want to. So double verify the remapping with the replay connections. This is the query in DBA workload connection map. You can check each and every item. If you want, you can use make use of Excel, properly find out the duplicates or remove and do some filtration, revert, and make sure that your connections are properly remapped. Then you would prepare the replay. At this stage, our groundwork is done. We are ready to go for the replay, and there are certain parameters you how you want to do the replay. uh, you can multi-fold the workload, you can reduce the time, you can increase the test. So in this situation we are using synchronization false, and this is the command which we would like to run to initiate the workload. The mode we have chosen is the calibrate mode, and this is the directory where my workload files are present. This is the reference output of step 7. Once you run this in the calibrate mode, it will give you a detailed explanation and way of execution. Here, the assumption is that there will be one client process per 100 concurrent sessions and 4 client processes per CPU. You should focus on this consideration, which is it is recommending as 19 clients divided among 5 CPUs. So you have to take separate 19 clients and initiate the workload to have these combination of uh, workload generated, and at least you need 303 MB of memory per client. So these values will change based on your intensity of your workload, number of sessions and CPUs, etc. what you have at source. Based on this information, I will go ahead and take that many putty sessions and initiate that 19 clients. For initiating, I just have to run in each separate session this command replay directory. You have to run this command with the username system and the password and the database name in the replay mode. Debug on is optional to generate the output of the file. Otherwise, that can be left as is. Once you have those 19 clients ready and you see the message waiting for client, waiting for replay, then you can go ahead in another SQL session and just run start replay, and you will be able to see at the back end that sessions of replay or those SQL IDs start coming in. You have to wait until when this replay drains all the workloads which it has captured. Depends upon how long you have captured it. More or less same time the replay duration will be running. It has nothing to do with the speed or the enhancement of the new feature of in your target server. It's how it works is it drains slowly the capture files. Maybe in next session I will walk you through around the tips and tricks how can you can optimize and further enhance this. And if you find this complicated, then I have a perfect tool for you. Let's move on to the automate. So this automation tool, I call it as a rat autoplay. It is code is present in the GitHub. It's very easy to execute, just 2 steps, and it does end to end. Take the source in the black and see in the purple I have the target system where the capture was completed from the previous run. Now let's do the copy of the files which are present in the source. I'll just SCP the whole directory and wait to see if all the files are copied in my target system. Once all the files are 100% transferred, I will move ahead and run the replay with just one command. With -t passing the target database name and capital T the DNS alias or the IP address of the server, and the mode is replay. Now you can see the assumptions and the suggestions. In this is a small use case where just one client is needed and one CPU with 11 MB. So I just need one worker process. I can create one more as well. Multiple worker process is also fine. I'm going to take a new session and then I will run this command to initiate the workload. Replay start. It is waiting now to start the replay. You can see a message here. Once worker clients are connected, you can press Y and enter to continue. I pressed Y and then initiating the replay. Pre-process already happened. Workload replay initiated successfully. In the other putty session, you can see client already started. At the back end of the database, you can see in the $V session that your replay client, WCR, sessions, and events are coming from the username whichever you have triggered. And you can actually see the real SQLs or the application names or the machine names from where it was generating. Once the replay is completed, you will see the whole message of sequence of messages. Initiating, workload in progress, workload completed, and at the end it will generate a comprehensive comparison report of the capture and replay of the source to identify you where the gap is or how did it do better or worse. It will generate a beautiful HTML report. Let me quickly walk you through. Here you see replay and capture. 37 minutes it took to replay and 13 minutes to capture. I did multiple runs of different type of workloads. You see trial 1 on the top and trial 2 at the bottom. There are three different types of workloads. Trial 1 results are not good. 145% in negative the regression impact for workload type 1. Similarly, the others are more than 100. But after implementing the STA recommendations and then rerunning the iteration of replay, you can see drastically we have brought down the overall impact to positive 32% of workload 1 and 2 and 3 respectively. All are green. So you want to see these greens, and when you see these greens, you should be confident to do the migrations happily. Thank you.